Well, I got a bargain today. This is some fillet of veal. It's normally this packet would have been $12 something, and I got it for $3.99. Absolute bargain. And veal fillet is very tender. So what I'm doing by cutting it up is cutting it quite thin, probably about an eighth of an inch, I suppose. But you don't get bargains like this all the time, so today when I saw that I thought, well, that's going to determine what we're going to have for dinner. So like I say, if you come across some meat bargains, grab them, because meat is so very expensive these days, no matter where you live. So I'm going to cut this, like you can see, quite thinly. This is about an eighth of an inch. Don't quote me, don't get out your micrometer and say, oh, it's not an eighth of an inch at all. But that's the deal. Cut the whole fillet to very thin slices, as you'll see. So that's what I ended up with. Beautiful. Now I'm going to make up a just a little base of flour. I'm going to add a bit of salt, some pepper, and also just a little bit of parsley. You add what you like. You can add different flavours at this stage. This is just to coat the meat as I fry it. So I'm just stirring that around, and that's going to be how I coat the meat before it goes into the fry pan. Now, also with tonight, I've got a bit of food storage. I'm not a prepper by any means, but I have a good 3 to 6 months worth of food stored. And this is just a packet of seasoned rice. This would be 4 portions for a side dish if you were having a dish. So this is going to be in 2. Also, got the bargain, some mushrooms. They're only $1, so I grabbed them today as well. So first of all, I'm going to, it says on the packet, a glass and 2/3. So it's about a glass and 2/3. That's what I put in there. And then it says to add some margarine, but I don't like margarine at all. So I will be putting in just a little dab of butter. So that will go in, and we'll put that on the stove and get that started to heat up. Still cold at this stage. I've just put in the butter. And now I'm putting in the packet of rice. It's got bits of veggies and flavouring and seasonings, chicken flavoured rice. Those packets only cost a couple of dollars. They give you a big meal. So we're going to let that come to the boil, and then we're going to put the lid on and simmer it. I think it's about 8-10 minutes, and it's done. It's beautiful. So you could have this as a meal if you wanted to, by itself, but with tonight's meal as well, I'm going to add a few mushrooms, because they were a bargain. So it'll be a rice dish, and you'll see near the end I'll mix the cooked mushrooms in with the rice. So I always put a little bit of butter and olive oil when I cook mushrooms. Then I open up the packet, which is about a pound, talking in foreign language, and about 250 gram in Australian language. So again, that's still pretty good value, $1 for that. So I'll just tip all the mushrooms in, and we'll get them started. Cooking mushrooms like this probably take about 5 or 6 minutes from start to finish. When they get going, they start cooking very quickly. This is probably a minute or 2 into the cooking process. I'm just flipping them around and coating them with butter, which just gives an added flavour. If you're a bit frightened of using butter, don't be. It's done me no harm at all. So near the end, I'm pretty happy with that. They're about 90% cooked, and I'm going to tip them into the rice, which you don't see, because now I'm going to coat the beef. So pretty simple. Just pull out a slice, put it in the seasoned flour, and that's the process. So that's all of them done. So like I say, you can make all sorts of things with veal schnitzel. This is basically like a scallopini, because near the end I make a little sauce with some lemon and the butter. But here we go. We're going to cook the veal. This is moderately hot. It's not roaring hot, but it's quite hot. You don't cook these for very long at all. You're probably going to watch the video. I did a little bit of editing here, but you're sort of seeing it in nearly real time. Very thin, so it will cook very quickly. about a minute on each side. If you think it needs another turn, by all means do that, but about a minute each side is all you need. So that's enough. You don't want to overstack the pan. There's still plenty of heat firing through. I even had a few leftovers. They're going to be a snack tomorrow. So about another, I suppose 30 or 40 seconds they were really going. The heat's up reasonably high, like I said. And we're turning them over. Nearly cooked now. Like I say, all you'll be doing by flipping them over is just finishing off those small fillets. Does not take very long at all. And the taste of veal, well, if you like beef, you like veal. Some people don't like eating veal because it's baby cow, but don't tell anyone. Very tender. Like I say, when you could cook a nice fillet of veal like this, it just it melts in your mouth. It's fantastic. If you've never had veal, give it a go. I would suggest in life give most things a go with food. It's probably another 20 or 30 seconds on and they're done. They're finished. So now all I'm doing is finishing off all these residue bits in the pan, all the yummy bits. A lot of people wash and throw away. I'm going to turn into a sauce. It's already had butter in there. It's had the veal cooking in it. And all I'm doing is adding a bit of butter. And as you'll see, I went outside to my lemon tree and got a lemon and cut it in half. And I'm just going to squeeze the juice of half a lemon into there. So it's a lemon butter thingy sauce. A bit like scallopini. Any of the Italians watching would say, you didn't put the wine in. Don't like white wine personally, so it's scallopini without the white wine. So this is just mixed in and cooked, not for much more. That's just about done. I'm scraping all the goodies off the bottom. They will be tipped onto the veal when we put it in the pan. So there you can see I've got the mushrooms and the rice, and what I'm going to do is just mix them all up. And that would be a meal in itself. I'll be honest with you, we didn't finish all of this. The rice was just too much. So for two people, one of those packets of rice on its own would be a meal. So there's the veal. Well, like I say, it's a lot of rice. It's got mushrooms in it, of course, but that was a big meal. And now I'm just using those juices with lemon and butter and all the goodies, just pouring it over top of the veal. And that's really it. That's your meal finished. Probably took about around with the flour and everything, probably about half an hour from start to finish to cook this. We enjoyed this. This was a very delicious meal. And again, like always, if you have been, I thank you for watching.